All right, welcome back to the social media tutorial. I know it's been a while since I've touched on this tutorial. I do apologize. Uh, Obviously had quite a few other tutorials that I wanted to start and get into, but several people have been asking if we were going to go back into this tutorial, so I figured I'd go ahead and complete part 9 and try and get through parts 10, 11, and 12. So we can try and get this tutorial finished up. I went and reviewed to see where I left off, and I believe that the last thing we touched on was doing this edit button up here to edit the user's marketplace. And now we need to take a look at these sections through here, applying actions to these buttons and defining what these various things do. So that's what we're going to be looking at. In part 9, we will start with the items for sale section and work through that real quick. So let's go ahead and get started then. So the first thing I need to do then, let's see, items for sale. I believe, yeah, I'd already created this sub collection here, which is our market items. So we need to go ahead and create a page for the items that we have for sale. And I think I'll just start with a blank page, and I'll just title it my market items. And let's do this real quick here. Give that a label, and I'll shrink that down a little bit and move that title to the center. And we need a back button. Okay, and make that white, and we'll do a back arrow. And then we'll set that action to the back, navigate back action. All right, so I want to display the market items in here. I believe the way we have this collection set up is we have, let's see here, is available for sale, which is a true false. So I want to set this up so that the user can view the items that are available as well as the items that are not available. That way they can sort them accordingly. And I'm thinking about the best way that I wanted to do this, and I think how I want to go about it is, I believe we're going to use choice chips and a page view. So let's go ahead and scroll down here and grab our choice chips real quick. So we're going to use these. And I do want to scoot this column to the middle, and I want to bring it down just a little bit. And so option 1, I'm going to set this as active items. And then option 2, I'm going to set as inactive items. And I'm not going to do anything for the icons at this point. And the initial option I'm going to set as active items. And I am going to require selection. I'm going to leave multi-select turned off there. All right, so I'm going to have that set up, and then I want to do a page view. So we'll drop that in below it and move that down slightly as well. And I want to get rid of that. So let's go ahead and set up our page view real quick. I only need 2 pages, so. And then I am going to turn the indicator off, and I'm going to turn swipe scrolling off as well. Okay, so now I want to be able to choose which page view I'm on based off of which one of these is selected. And of course, page views are based off of index numbers, and the index always starts at 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create an app state, and we can just title it, just do item index, and I'm going to set that as an integer, and yeah, I don't think I'll persist that. I kind of wanted to reset back once it's done there. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go up here to my choice chips and I'm going to set an action on those, on selected. So I'm going to do a conditional, and I'll do a single condition, and I will do widget state choice chips is equal to active items. And I will set an action to update my app state. So I will choose that item that we created there. I'm going to set the value to 0. And if choice chips is not equal to active item, and therefore it's equal to inactive items, then we will do an action over here where we will update app state, add that field, set value, and we will set that value to 1. And we'll terminate. Now we can highlight our page view here, and we can do our initial page index based off of our app state item index. And I'm just going to set this as 0 just to make sure that it always defaults back to 0, but it should anyway, because this should always default back to active items as the initial selected item. And then of course, because we did not persist the app state index, then it'll always default back to 0. All right, so now we've got our page view, and we've got it set up so that we can select it based off of our choice chips up here. So now we need to just go ahead and apply some data into our page view. And so in the first one, I'm just going to drop a column in there and a list view. And of course, should already be set, but let me double check here. All right, I just want to make sure it's not scrollable. It shouldn't allow me to set it anyway. So yeah, because I've got a page view in there, if I tried to set the top level column to scrollable, it'll error out like you just saw, because you cannot do that with a page view present. So this is where we should be. I do want to drag this up and put it in my users folder. Let's see, there we go. All right, so now we're back on this first page view. That looks like it's actually editing the second one, so let's start in the first one here and do a list view. And we're going to move that down just a little bit here. All right, so now we need to put something in here to represent our items. And so I think I'll just use a pre-made component, Flutterflow, which this process sometimes slows things down, lags a little bit. I've got to give it a second to load here. There we go. And I think I'll use, let's see. Let's just use this one. This will work. And I will have to refresh the page because once I add a custom or I add a component made by Flutterflow, it causes the entire thing to lag for some reason. There we go. All right, so now we've got that in there. So I'm going to go here to my card, and I am going to set an elevation on it and make it stand out just a little bit. It looks like there is an action or an animation applied to it. Yeah, we'll leave that in place. That'll be fine. I do want to scoot that in some. And I want to set this to 12. Okay, that'll work. All right, so let me get rid of, I don't need that, and probably not going to use that either. And I'm going to kind of scoot this down some. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab our list view for this and query our items. So we will query collection and we will query that sub collection. And you know what? I just realized I don't think I passed anything yet. Nope, I did not. So let's put that on standby and let's go back to our user market dashboard and go ahead and set this as a navigation action on this button here. And we're going to navigate that to my market items. And I think I'll do slide left. And we need to pass our market reference over. So user markets, pass that reference from this page, user market document, and reference. Okay, so now we got that taken care of. So now I can go back to my items here, my market items. And let's grab that list view again, go ahead and add that back in query collection. And then we'll set the parent collection as that parameter that we just passed in here. And we'll do a list of documents and we're going to filter and we want to set availability is available for sale is equal to true. And we're going to order by, we'll order by title. And that'll work. Okay. And let's grab our card here and do a little bit more spacing than that between them. We'll do 6. All right, so that'll work. So now I'm just going to copy this list view and go over here to my next page view. So I'm actually going to delete this list view that I put in here and then paste. And then we do want to change the filter to false. That's right. For some reason it won't let me save when I do that. So I actually have to delete the filter, confirm, edit, add a new filter, and set that availability to false. There we go. All right, now let's jump back over to our first page view here. And we want to go ahead and put some details in here. So the path for our photo will go to our market items document here. We're going to select item photos, and then we're going to select item at index, and we'll select the first. That way the first photo that is uploaded for an item will be presented as its primary photo. And then the item name be title, and I am going to make that smaller. And then this field, I think what I'll do, let me make that a little bit bigger, and it's kind of hard to see that, but I think I will leave it like that. And I'm going to change that to the item price. I'll set this as a decimal, and currency will be $. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. So basically on tap, what's going to happen is if user taps the item, it's going to take them to a screen to be able to edit the item. However, we'll set that up in a second. I'll go ahead and create the action as a reminder to come back here, but I am going to go over here to long press, and I'm going to set an alert dialog as a confirmation. And in the title, I'll do delete this item. And we'll do a conditional. And if they confirm that they want to delete the item, then we'll do delete document, and we'll set it to this market items document reference. Otherwise, we'll just terminate. Okay. And I'm going to copy that action chain and go over here and do the same thing on this. I want to make sure we grab our reference here. Oops, did that in the wrong section. Okay. All right, so now if they long press, they can select to delete the item. Otherwise, just tapping on it, we'll be setting up an edit page here shortly. Okay, so also on this page, we want to give them the ability to create a new item. And you know what, while I'm thinking about it, before we move to that, let's go ahead and set this column to scrollable. And same thing with this column as well. Okay. All right, so for creating a new item, I'm just going to do a floating action button. And then I'll put an icon in there. Oops. There we go. All right, so we have this set up now. So the next thing that we need to do then is we need to go ahead and set up a create new item page and an edit page. So that's what we're going to do next. So let's go ahead over here and create a new page. And I think how I want to do this. Yeah, we'll just start with a blank. Or we'll just call this a new item. And we'll get a back button here. And for this back button, let's see here. We're going to do an alert dialog as a confirmation. Okay. And just to get them to confirm that they're about to go back. That way, maybe if they accidentally hit that button, didn't mean to, they won't lose all of their progress here. And navigate back, and then terminate and terminate. Okay. All right, so that's taken care of. So now let's go ahead and add a form field. Let's see here, where's that at? Form validation field. Get that center. And let's bring that down some. Okay. All right. I just noticed I didn't even change that icon. Thought I did that. Interesting. Okay. Let me that'll work. All right. All right, so in my form, I want to do something here. So first of all, I obviously need to add a column. And I want to, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a row. Let's bring that in a little bit. And I'm going to set it to middle for just a second there. And I'm going to drop an image in here, and I'm going to kind of shrink that down a little bit. Maybe a little bit bigger. And then let's actually make that angled a little bit more there. Okay. And then I'm going to put a column beside this photo in the row, and now I'm going to space evenly. Yeah, that's what I want. And I think, let's see, I'm going to do, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a container in here, and make that smaller. Oops, not that small. All right, and the color, let me set elevation real quick. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm not going to change the color, but the child widget alignment, I do want it 0 and 0. And then I'm going to add an icon button to the middle of this thing and get rid of that fill color and that border color. And let's search image. Okay, one of these will work. Yeah, that'll work. And we might make that a little bit bigger. Make that a little bigger. Okay, that should work. It might need to be slightly bigger there. Yeah. Okay. We could even change the color on it if we wanted it to stand out a little bit more. And you know what? We might change the color on this too. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really like it. No, whatever. Won't get too hung up on this. Anyway, so we'll leave that. And then under this tile that I just created, I am going to, come on now. Let's grab our column here and go into the column and add it here. I'm going to add an image. Obviously that thing is massive, so we want to make that quite a bit smaller here. Do it like that. So 69 and 72, so I want these to be the same. So I'm going to do 69, and I would actually prefer that they be even. So let's do 70 and 70, I think would be good. We'll do the same on here as well. Okay, that should work. Actually, we'll set this to 4. And I just realized I skipped a step here. So actually go ahead and cut that out of that column. Add another column first. So a column within the column, and then paste that, that photo back in there into that internal column. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this. I'm going to set this entire thing as a button. I'm going to add an action and add, I'm going to do an upload data. upload, Firestore or Firebase, allow photo. I'm going to change this to gallery only, and then allow multiple images and show snack bar. Yeah, okay. All right, so that's set up. So we've got that working as a button here. So let me go ahead here into this internal column that I've got, which has this photo, and I'm going to do a generate children from variable, and I'm going to go in here and select widget state, and I'm going to do the uploaded file URLs, which is for that, and we'll map the list items and confirm. I'm going to set this to uploaded photos, or let's do item photos, and I'm going to set the limit to 3. And now we can get kind of an idea of what that would look like spacing wise. So I'm actually going to expand this photo vertically to be kind of even at the top of this photo, bottom of this photo, because obviously this photo will not be visible since we're only allowing 3 photos, and this button here will be invisible after the photos are uploaded, and I'll show you that in just a second. And I think I will bring that out some like this. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead here. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are pulling the photo here to our photos. So we'll set the path, and we'll set that as the uploaded item photos item, which is that child that's being generated there. So now 3 items will show. And then for this one, I'm going to set the path, and we're going to set that as, we're going to do widget state. We're going to go to the uploaded file URLs, and available options, we'll do item at index, and then we'll select the first. So that way the first item that's uploaded will be this photo here. All right, so let's jump over here real quick. So what I want to do then, obviously after they upload the photos, I want this box to be hidden. So I'm going to do some conditional visibility here. So we're going to go in here, do conditional visibility, and I'm going to do a single condition. And I'm going to go down here to widget state, and I'm going to select the uploaded file URLs option. And I'm going to select number of items. And then I'm going to select less than, and I'll set a specific value of 1. That way, if there are less than 1 items in that list, which would mean that there are no items uploaded, then this button will be visible. Once there are items uploaded, then this button will become invisible. And then, of course, we want to we want this box to be in the middle. This button box to be in the middle until the files are uploaded. So I'm going to select this internal column and do conditional visibility on that, and we'll do a single condition, and we will do uploaded file URLs, number of items, and then we will select greater than or equal to specific value of 1. So long as this statement is not true, then this column will be invisible here. And then of course we want to make sure that our top level, our external column that's containing all of this stuff, is set to the center. That way this box will be centered here. Okay. All right. So that takes care of that. And again, what we can do, if you, obviously this looks really odd having everything kind of moved around like that. That's not what it'll look like when you're actually doing this particular layout in a live setting. But while you're building this kind of layout could mess you up. So of course you could highlight this internal column and make it disappear. so that you have an accurate depiction of what's going on here, okay? All right, so that's what we want to do there. Now, one thing that I probably should have done before I hit that. Is if you go to the specific image here, if you want to be able to make it so that the user can delete one or more of these items in this list here, then you can select on the image and set an action, and I'd probably do like long press. I think would probably be the best idea there. And then go down here to delete data, and then variable, and select the uploaded items photo item and confirm. And that way you can delete the user can press and hold to delete an item, and you know, do it that way if they don't want a specific item in there. So all right, so that that takes care of that section. Do want to make that invisible again here. So now we need to add some other stuff to our form. I'm going to go here to my column, and I'm going to go down and add a text field. Go ahead and move down the list and drop that down. I'm going to do, oops, whoa, that's way too much. I don't know why I just did that. There we go. And then I'm going to leave the max line as 1. Label text is going to be enter item title. Border color, we're going to set it as like this blue here. We're going to do outline, and we're going to set the outline to 12. And we're going to turn autofocus off, and we'll leave it as text, so that'll be fine. And I think I will put a clear field icon in here. There we go. All right, so that'll work, and so I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate that. Maybe. There we go. And I am going to reduce that quite a bit here. Let's go to 8 and see how that looks. That'll be fine. I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to turn this to multi-line. And we'll do enter item description, and then we're going to set max number of lines to 4 and minimum to 1, and that way this box will expand as they type and make it look a little cleaner there. All right, so that's good to go. So let's let me jump over here real quick and see what else we need to add. So we've got our description, our photos, and our title. So we need available quantity and price, and then of course the is it available or not. So I think for this I'm going to do a row, and let's get to 22. And I'm going to drop this down a little bit further than the others. And I'm going to first put a text field in there. And we're going to do enter item price. And we will outline that blue there. Turn autofocus off, and we'll change this to a number with decimal point field type. And then I'm going to actually move this over just a little bit out of my way. And now I'm going to put a count controller in here, which I think I actually need to do a column first here and some text. and we will set that to available quantity. All right, and then let's go into our column and add that count controller in there. And our row, we're going to make it so everything is along the bottom axis. And let's see, initial count is going to be 1. Minimum count will be 1. Icon size, I'm actually going to change that to 16 and 16. Primary, we'll make that blue color. And then the secondary, we'll do like a kind of a grayish black. And the font size, I think I'll do it 18. And then the border color, I want consistent here, so we're going to do that. Okay, that'll work. So I am going to change this a little bit here. Semi-bold. All right, so now we've got that in there. So let me actually expand that back out just a little bit. Actually, might push it in a little bit more than that. Let's do 12. And let's see here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Okay, we're just gonna leave that on. All right, so that'll work. Just kind of a basic setup here. What's going on here? Okay, I don't know why it was doing that. Okay, so that takes care of that. So now we need to add, let's do another row and drop that down. I'm going to drop it down by like 28 and then get it down a little bit further, 22 and 22. And I'm do text, and in the text I'm going to put we'll do that item is available for sale. Semi-bold, and then we'll do a switch selector here and do it end to end, and I'm going to change the platform type to Android. And we'll leave its default setting to true, because I think that'll probably be the case in the situation for most cases, where it'll be set to true. All right, and then let's see here. We need to grab our. It may not have been. Huh. Well, that happened. That's interesting. I thought I'd been putting that into my column this whole time, but I guess not. So I'm gonna have to do that real quick. Okay. I really hate how laggy this product. Goodness gracious. Wow, okay, this thing is not wanting to cooperate. So let me try and do it this way. There we go. Yeah, if you've ever had to, if you've ever had to play with this and try and place items stacked in the widget tree, then you've probably come across this issue of it being a pain. It really is. It can be a painful process getting it to stack properly. but I think that'll take care of it now. It should be right. Maybe. Yeah, okay. That should be what we're wanting. All right, and now I want to do a submit button. Okay. All right, that looks good. That I think that'll work. Okay, so now we need to go in and set our action to create this document. And so we're going to go up here to the action. We're going to add an action and create. And we're going to create a market item. We'll set the parent as, I guess I never pushed the parent over. Okay. Huh. Thought I did that, but I guess not. I guess I did that on that other page. So let's grab this and move it up to our user folder. And then we need to go to my market items and set this as a navigation. Add new item. Which I'm just going to leave that as default. And we do need to set the parameter. That's going to be the market ref. There it is. Looking right at it. Now we can get that reference point here, right here, and pass that. Okay, now we can actually make that work. So we set the parent collection as the market reference. Now let's go ahead and just add all of our fields here and fill them out accordingly. And I'm not going to use that one. I am going to do date created. And we'll do title, widget state, text field 1 is the title. Text field 2 is the description. The item photos set value from a variable is going to be our uploaded file URLs. Available quantity will be our count controller. Price will be our price field. Available for sale will be our switch value. And we can remove these two because they are irrelevant. All right, and then we want to, let's go ahead and go back up here and do a navigate back action. And we'll do a snack bar. It's just a confirmation that the item has been added. And there we go. So that's good to go. Actually, I want to go back. My market items. Okay. So that'll show up there then. which we did. I did already do that. Yeah, we already added that in. Okay, good deal. Okay, so that takes care of adding a new item to our item view here. We do need to add an edit item page, so let's go ahead and take care of that. And what I'm actually going to do is just clone or duplicate the add item page so that they are pretty much identical. And then I'll just change the name to edit item. We do want to make sure our route setting is edit item. Okay. I need to change that real quick. There we go. Oops. And let's change this. And then I'm actually going to get rid of all of this in here for edit item. And I'm just going to set it as a back nav. All right, so before we move on to that, then we need to actually go into our My Market items. And again, single tap is what takes them to the edit. So we need to go in here and set that on tap navigation. And we want to navigate to our edit item page. We'll leave that as default. We do want to pass the market reference, but we also want to pass the item reference. Let's go ahead and set that real quick. So market reference will be this, and then item reference will be the item reference that we're tapping on here. It'll be this one right here. And so we want to set that again over here in this other list view. I'll just paste it in there because I just copied it. But we do have to make sure that our reference is correct for our item here. Okay. So that'll now take us over to our edit item page. And so we do want to generate a backend query here. And document from reference will be our item. And we'll grab our parameter item reference here and confirm. All right, so now we can start plugging in this data real quick here. So let's start plugging in here. So I'm going to go ahead and set, let's see, we're going to leave label text the way it is. Well, actually, we're going to change this to item title. And we're going to set initial value as our market item title. And description, we'll do initial value as market item description. And we'll set this as item description. And this as item price. And set the initial value as the item price. And we're going to set our number format to decimal. And then we'll set initial count as available quantity. And then we'll set this as the switch value. Okay. And then for our photos up here, let's go in here and make this visible real quick. Oops. All right, and let's go ahead and set this one go down here to our item, photos, index. Actually, let's do this a little differently. Apologize. All right, do our path. Let's see. I don't want to do this. All right, let's do a little bit of conditional if then else. So let's do conditional value if then else. So we're going to do if single condition. Choose this. We're going to go to market items, and we're going to select items photos from our market items. Number of items is greater than or equal to specific value of 1. Then we'll choose our market items document again, show item photos, item at index first, else show widget state uploaded file URLs, item at index 1 or the first. So that way, when the user comes in here to edit this item, because they will already have photos uploaded for that item, obviously the number of items in that list associated, or the number of photos in that list associated with this market item will be greater than 1, and so it'll show the photos from that document. However, when we set up the action here in just a second to change the photos, if the number of items in the document photo list is less than 1, then it'll show the photo URLs from the new upload. So hopefully that makes sense. So we'll confirm that. And then we're going to do something a little similar here with this list of photos. First of all, I want to go over here in my query, and I do want to go ahead and just change the name to edit so that it's a little bit more clear. I'm going to leave the query the same, but I'm going to highlight the image, and I'm going to change the path. And I'm going to use an if then else condition to display which photo we should be seeing here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the if then else. Choose my top one. I'm going to do a single condition, and I'm going to go to my market item, and I'm going to select item photos, and I'm going to choose number of items, and then I'm going to choose greater than or is equal to specific value of 1. So if my photos in my market item that I am editing, if there is 1 or more photos associated with that document, then it will show market items, photos, item at index, specific index, and then I will go in here again to market item document, photos, number of items. Okay. So now I will show my item, my photo from my document if there are photos associated with a document. Otherwise, if there are not photos associated with the document, then I want to show my edit upload photos from my new photos that are being uploaded. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. So now what I want to do then is I want to initiate the capability for the user to upload new photos. And so to do that, I think what I will do, go in here, long press is delete. So I think I will actually delete that action out of there. And then look at something here real quick. Okay. So we're going to have to edit these as well, our conditional visibility, which quite frankly, no, I don't think I'm going to go through the process of that. So I'm actually going to get rid of that, and I am going to get rid of this as well. And I'm just going to leave that visible. And then instead, I think what I'll do is I'm actually going to drop another column in here. Scoot this photo into that column. And then we want to, let's see here, it's my top level, my row, there's my image. So I'm going to grab this column and I'm going to drop a button in there underneath it. And just kind of widen this out some. And then set that as change photos. I'll make that just a little bit simpler instead of having to go through that long process again of changing all of those things around. And then for this action, it'd probably be worthwhile to set an alert dialog as a confirm dialog. And actually, let's do this instead. Okay. And then if they confirm, let's do a conditional. And let's add an action and let's update our market document. We'll choose our item photos. Whoops, sorry. I was wondering why that didn't look right. I was confused as to why it wasn't giving me the option I needed. Don't choose item photos straight out of that list. Choose your market items reference first. Then add a field and go to your item photos. It'll make a lot more sense here. And then we're just going to delete. Which we yeah, let's just do it that way. So we'll just delete the photos out of there. And then we're going to set our secondary action here as the upload, and we're going to upload media and just kind of run the same gauntlet again. Firebase, photo, gallery, multiple images, and snack bar. Okay. There we go. All right, so that takes care of that. And I'm going to actually, okay, never mind. All right, so that'll work then for changing the photos. Now, something I want to do, let's see. Well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's not absolutely necessary, but I'm just going to set it up this way. So I'm going to set the fields on change to do an action here. And on change, I'm going to update document, and I'm going to update my item document. And we'll choose here. Well, no, I'm not going to do it that way. Because let's say they type out a new item name and then they decide they don't want that item name and they decide to exit. Well, if we do an on change update action, then it will have updated the item name regardless of whether they actually wanted to save those changes. So let's just save everything here. Oh yeah, that's right. This was associated. Let's just change it here. So update document, and we will update the market item document. Go ahead and put our fields in here, all of the ones that we need. Which we actually need to, let's copy this, and I'm going to delete this real quick. I'm going to do a conditional first, and I'm going to do a single condition, and I'm going to choose uploaded file URLs, number of items equal, greater than, or equal to 1. And then I'm going to paste that there, and I'm going to paste it here as well. I'm going to get rid of item ID, get rid of date created. So we're going to set title to the widget state title, and just same thing down the list, which I will probably end up copying this and pasting it over here instead of just redoing all of this again. Description. So if the user did decide to upload a new batch of photos, this is what that condition is looking for. And so if they did decide to upload new photos, then on the true side, we are going to set the value from variable as those uploaded file URLs. Available quantity, count controller, price, set as price, and switch value. And then we can delete these. All right, so I'm actually going to delete that and copy this action chain and put it over here. And so if they did not upload new photos, and therefore the photos that are associated with the document when they created the document are still in place, then we want to go up here to the setting the value and just remove that, because we don't want to initiate any sort of setting of value. Otherwise, what could end up happening is it could actually delete the photos by initiating that update action, even though there's no file URLs present in the upload action. It could end up just setting that field to null, and so the user would discover that their item has no photos and probably would wonder why, since they didn't make any changes. So that's why we're doing it this way. And then our snack bar, we'll just do item updated. All right, so that takes care of that. So let's jump back then to our user market dashboard. And now we want to set this real quick. And let's see, how did I end up doing this? Okay, I'm not really sure what my thought process was, but this is how we're going to do it. So we're going to do a backend query to this container, and we're going to query collection, and we're going to query market items, and of course the parent variable will be this user market reference, and we're going to set that to a count, so we can get a count of the number of items that the user has. And we will just leave all of this empty. So it's giving a count of how many items that they have created, not necessarily a count of how many items they have actively for sale. And then we'll confirm that, and then we can plug that count in here, right here. And we will set that number format to a compact, and our default variable will be 0. All right, so that is good to go. So that's it for part 9. Part 10 will keep going down the list and looking at all of these various things. All right, that's it. Hopefully that part made sense. I know there were a couple of kind of twists and turns we had to take there in getting some of these things set, but yep, that's it for now. Take care.